And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. For everybody watching online, you can tell I'm not Brandon, as Brandon is off, but I am Mike Murphy, owner of Murphy Auto Group in the all-new Genesis of Tampa. Please remember, at Genesis of Tampa, peace of mind is free every time with our 10-year, quarter-million-mile warranty on all new Genesis vehicles. Today we've got a great show. My guest is Jay Smith. We're awfully excited to talk about how new construction is coming back to Tampa and why you still need an inspection. But before we do anything, we need to help Brandon out. We need to help Brandon sell some real estate, pay his bills, get logos off TVs. So we're going to dive right into some real estate. And what do you got for us? Ooh, 369 West Winds Drive in Palm Harbor, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 1,400 square feet. Sits on a 0.2-acre lot. Looks like it's brand new. Backs up to the water. Fantastic new kitchen. Got that island kitchen set up. This is very close from Sunset Beach, near Dunedin shopping area. Don't forget about how awesome that area is with Khaleesi State Park. It's upscale, kind of friendly golf cart community. You're going to absolutely love this listing. Check this listing out at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com or give Brandon a call at 727-263-3707. 3707, that's a great set of numbers because that is also the address of Kingmakers, where March 19th we've got our happy hour, the consumer quarterback for all of our expert contributors. Brandon himself will make an appearance, but everyone listening is welcome to Kingmakers on March 19th at 6 p.m. I should note it's my location. It's right behind the Corvette dealership in the Wawa, Del Mabry 275. We're looking forward to showing off the place. We'll have food, drinks. We'll have some raffles. We're going to give away free gas for a month. But now, the most important question of the day for me to ask all of our guests, because most of us wonder why does 97% of the population work for the 3% that are small business owners? So, Jay, before we dive into new construction, I'm just kind of curious, what moment in your career did you go, I can do this, I can be my own boss?
Oh, I've been in construction for 40 years. My father was a GC. I actually opened up my own company at 24 years old and got my GC license. And honestly, got a little burnt out on that, and family asked me to move to Florida, and I moved down here, and that's when I decided to get my home inspections license. So I've been doing that for 15 years.
You picked the right state to do it in, right? I mean, there's been so much new construction and people moving from other states into the free state of Florida. How has business been?
I mean, starting to pick up now. You feel the springtime momentum coming. I mean, we're always slow in January and December, so that's just the natural state of things. But real estate's getting better, that's for sure. People are buying new construction, so these superintendents run really hard. They're running multiple properties. They're not always keeping an eye on your particular house. I highly recommend getting a home inspection done, either pre-drywall and pre-final walkthrough, or at least a pre-final walkthrough. And if you missed all of that and you've already bought a new house, do the 11-month warranty inspection. That's the other one that you can do, just to make sure everything's all set. That first year, there's a lot more covered than the years after that. So you definitely
an 11th-month warranty.
11-month warranty inspection. So basically, your 12-month warranty, and you've got more warranty than that on the overall structure. But there's a lot of things that aren't covered after that first 12 months.
Oh, that's really interesting. I just thought for my business, with our 10-year, quarter-million-mile warranty, we should have like a 119-month inspection or something like that. Because before you lose the coverage, you need to make sure anything can be covered. What are some of the common issues you see with new construction that a home inspection would find?
I mean, sometimes it's things like covering up drainage holes for windows, which no one will notice other than a person like myself. But these new vinyl windows are made to drain, and if you cover them up with stucco or something like that, that can be a future problem. Sometimes AC is not working 100% throughout the house, so you want to see how it's working in one particular bedroom. It's like, hey, this one room is always hot. I can write things like that up and hopefully get that fixed up. Most of the time it's just a duct issue, so it's not like it's super complicated even for the builder to repair it. But that's all little things that start to pop up. You can come up with some larger electrical issues down the road or even plumbing issues. I mean, I've had, washers and dryers that we weren't able to run because there wasn't one in place originally. And 3 months later, they're getting a backup because probably one of the workers dropped something down the drain line. Mm-hmm. And they didn't buy the washer and dryer for like 3 months and then all of a sudden put it in and running into some issues.
Sure. One of the first things I thought that maybe is okay with new construction would be termites, but that's not necessarily true, right? I mean, as soon as you have wood or any other issues, I mean, termites can happen in any part of the build.
Hey, you can bring them with you in furniture. You might move from your old house and bring them with you. You never know.
Wow, that's frightening.
I mean, I've had that story come across my desk here and there, and they end up getting rid of some old furniture that had it in there and still had to fumigate the new house because they brought them. So anything is possible.
So what are the biggest red flags that shouldn't be ignored if you're looking at buying an existing home?
Older homes, I mean, basically you get back pre-75, you really want to look at the electrical and plumbing. To the point where if you're pre-75, I would actually have a sewer scope done to check the drain lines, because that's something you just can't see unless you run a camera down it and get that all done. And you're getting at that age. I mean, we switched to the plastic or PVC style pipes in around 1975. So everything prior to that, most of it's cast iron that's in place. Some of the alternatives that we use, they've already failed. I mean, you don't run into the alternatives very often anymore because they're long gone. I mean, those plumbing issues have been found and been remedied, hopefully.
I mean, that makes perfect sense. I've bought a few homes, and one of the things that I've always been amazed with is you get, as a buyer, naturally excited, and you're willing to kind of rationalize a lot of stuff to your head, even compromise with yourself. So is equally as important for everybody buying their first home to their final home, or is it something that's even more important for first-time home owners?
Well, we spoke earlier. I was a GC, and I can tell you 100%, even being a GC, I looked at a house in a different way back then. Like if a friend of mine said, hey, I know you build, will you come look at this house for me? I'm looking at the big stuff. I mean, if the structure looks good and all that, I'm not really diving into electrical when I was a GC. But now that I've been a home inspector for 15 years, now I've got both hats on. I mean, I'm looking at it from a GC point of view and from a home inspection point of view, and it's a lot different from a home inspection point of view. I've done inspections for custom builders before, but they first called me and said, we're just going to get the insurance reports. I said, I'm telling you what, I look at it different, and I can point out things to you, and at the end of the inspection, it's like, you're the best $500 I ever spent in my life. That I give them information because a lot of times they might be moving from another state, so the construction is different, and I can even explain some of the difference between there and here. One of the guys I did one for, I'm originally from Maryland. He was a custom builder in Maryland, and the missus called up. We just need the 4-point wind mitt. I said, are you sure you want to do that? And it was a waterfront home. And I ended up talking to her. She said, no, I want to get the whole thing. And they came down and went through the whole inspection with me, and I was able to talk to him for a while. That was a good time. I enjoyed that inspection.
It's exciting because most people specialize in just one thing, and it sounds like you're very competitively priced. So if you're listening to the show and you're about to purchase a home and you need a home inspection, what's the easiest way to get a hold of you?
Actually, the phone number of the office, 813-345-2600. You can go to a-snoop.com and fill out a form there and request an inspection. So you can get a hold of us a couple different ways.
Well, that's great. I got to ask the question. I'm sure everybody's wondering at home. You said A-Snoop.com. Where did the Snoop inspection come from? Is it because you're snooping around? Or
yep,
you
basically.
Big fan?
I'm snooping around the house from top to bottom. So that's where A-Snoop Inspection came from. I hate to say it, but my last name is Smith. It wasn't about to be Smith Inspections.
We wouldn't want to be like the other 1,500 Smith Inspections out there.
Exactly. So that wasn't going to be the deal. Hopefully I can build out a few more inspectors, and one day I may even just sell the company. So we'll see what happens.
Well, I mean, that is the American dream. Build it up, sell it, retire somewhere nice, and live off that interest payment, and hopefully create financial freedom for many generations to come. Well, this is awesome. We're here at the Consumer Quarterback Show talking to Jay Smith. Like I said, we're going to help Brandon pay a few bills, so we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with Jay.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Did you know that we buy houses cash? We can close quickly for a all-cash offer on your real estate properties, residential, commercial, even vacant land. We'll buy your property cash. No cleaning, no showings, and no hassles. You can even possibly stay in your home post-closing. Call Brandon at 813-917-1894. Call 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. We buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Rimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. Rimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rimes, owners of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams. Buying, selling, investing in real estate, their nationwide Keller Williams network makes them the best team to work with. Sellers, have your property featured live on air, creating multiple offers. Buyers, leverage a unique system that gets your offer accepted, never overlooked. Call or text 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550, or consumerqb.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Brandon's still off. I'm still Mike Murphy, the owner of Murphy Auto Group and the all-new Genesis of Tampa. And we've got a feel-good story that we're awfully excited about here. But before we get to the feel-good story, we want to cover a couple pieces of additional real estate listings that Brandon has available. So what do you got for me? Ooh, okay. So 10001 Waterworks Lane in Riverview, Florida. This is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square foot home. Currently, I believe this is being used as an office, but can be reimagined for a single-family home. It is private gated on 2 acres, beautiful lake behind it. What I like about this footprint, too, is not only is it a beautiful home, but there's plenty of land with 2 acres for room for expansion. pteam.kw.com. Let's check one more else out. We've got 2488 Del Rio Way, Dunedin, Florida. So 3-bedroom, 2-bath, beautiful patriotic home, great flag in the front lawn, 1,400 square feet, kind of a petite lot. It's just been remodeled inside and out, high-impact windows. This contemporary design features lighting and kind of a tropical landscaping vibe. It's got an all-new, brand-new kitchen where I don't know about most of us, but that's where my family spends most of its time. Both bathrooms have been completely updated, fully finished butler's pantry, laundry room. This place is absolutely phenomenal. Stone's throw away from the Dunedin Causeway, where I spent a lot of time in high school. Pinellas Trail, underappreciated asset of Pinellas County. Don't forget about Honeymoon Island, another great part. And one of the oldest golf courses in the area, Dunedin Golf Club, is nearby. So check this out. This is a great listing, 2488 Del Rio Way, Dunedin, Florida. And you can see this listing and all of other listings that Brandon has at Platinum Team, PlatinumMVPteam.kw.com. And we are back with Jay Smith. So, Jay, I got a feel-good story. This story makes me feel good. I'm also shocked it's a story because I didn't know when this stopped. But Philadelphia schools are now guaranteeing water and bathroom breaks along with daily recess for all students. Praise God. Normality is returning to life.
Isn't that pretty basic?
Yeah, you would think. But they had to actually go and change the law. So the school district is adopting a new wellness program that guarantees recess, bathroom access, water breaks, and every 90 minutes you get to move around. It's so specific that teachers can no longer take these away as punishment, nor can a principal come and say there's no speaking at lunch and have what they're calling silent lunches and collective discipline. So everybody, guess what? You get to be educated and have fun at school again. Praise God, we're coming back to normal times. Correct me if I'm wrong, but, when I was growing up, I basically went to school for recess. I mean, wasn't that a big part of this whole thing?
I enjoyed it. I mean, that was the best part of the day, wasn't it?
And you know what we did at recess? We communicated with others. We developed those social skills. And now we're looking at a generation that would prefer to text their order to, a server than have to have a communication with another human face-to-face. So this absolutely blows my mind. But it's happy to see the City of Brotherly Love and the host of the All-Star Game this year for Major League Baseball, Philadelphia. The world. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, I have a question. So all I do is sell cars. So this is the great time of year for me. Tax time, everybody comes in, and that's why we run a triple-double sale at all Murphy Auto Group dealerships where we double tax returns as a form of down payment. Do you see housing bump about the same time when tax returns come? Or
Well, I mean, I know when I lived up north, it was, April, May, spring. When spring sprung, everything increased, and it's still the same in Florida. I mean, I feel like through the years, 15 years of doing home inspections, that April or May is still your prime time for the year. We've got different times throughout the year. I don't think the only time I feel like we slow down is truly during the holidays. And if we're having a really hot summer, July, August can be a little bit slower. People just don't want to get out and look. But beyond that, it goes. But April, May are definitely a bump in the transactions and what's going on.
How about hurricane season? What happens to the home inspection process when there's a named storm? Because I know in the insurance world, as soon as a storm's named, it seems like the whole world shuts down. Is there any effect to that to your industry?
I mean, sometimes we have to go out and re-inspect. For instance, if we do an inspection and then a storm comes through 2 weeks later before they've closed, they may call us back and say, hey, can you go double check the roof or double check things, make sure there's no damage that we can close on the storm once everything gets back to normal, because everything shuts down for a short time when a storm's coming through the state. So, yeah, it can affect things a little bit. Luckily, we haven't had a lot through the years, to be honest with you.
So if I'm your client and that happens and you have to come back out for a second day, does that count as a second home inspection? And then
I mean, it's just a re-inspection. It's not a full one, because really we're looking at the exterior to find out if there's any damage.
Okay, because other people in your industry do charge double, so this is a competitive advantage for if you're going to deal with Snoop himself.
Yeah, and I'm the main guy. I mean, I'm the one doing the inspections these days.
I think when you're picking a home inspector, or any small business for that matter, it's one thing to do business with a small business owner. It's another thing when they come out and they're putting their hard work, their knowledge, their expertise on the line. And that's really what you're paying for, not a second-year apprentice to come out and think and maybe this could be okay sometimes.
Yeah, and just having the construction experience is a big difference. You'd be surprised how many home inspectors don't have that experience, that they came from a different industry and just said, I could be a home inspector. It's not overly complicated to get the license.
So when picking a home inspector, it's really about their experience, their knowledge. What are a couple other questions that, like, I as a home buyer should be asking when I'm interviewing the U's of the world?
Well, I mean, one simple one would be, how long is your average inspection? I mean, I'm on an average home 3 hours. If they're gone in an hour and a half, something's not quite there.
So the home inspector says in and out in 59 minutes or less. You probably don't want to pay attention to it.
No. I would skip that one.
It works pretty well for oil changes. If you can get in 59 minutes
something like an oil
less.
change. Hey, I can get the air filter in the next couple minutes too, but that's not the same on a house.
I definitely feel like I missed an opportunity to plug the service department there at Genesis of Tampa, where you can get an oil change in under an hour. Obviously, the best time to do that is in the afternoon. Come relax in the lap of luxury. We're located at East Barris on the corner of Nebraska and Barris up there. Where's your home base? Where are you looking?
I'm out of Clearwater is home.
Oh, fantastic. So you can be covering Pinellas County, Pasco County, Hillsborough County.
Well, I'll be in Lakeland this afternoon.
Dang. Okay. Well, there's one thing I know about Lakeland is it's either 20 minutes or 120 minutes, counting on the time of day you leave.
Is that something to do with 4?
I believe so. Can you imagine if if a professional sports team moved over there and you just added 30,000 more cars to I-4, what that would do to traffic?
We need that speed train between Tampa and Orlando.
Yeah. You know, as a car guy, most people would be shocked to think I actually support that. But
Yeah.
I think it's in their own private vehicle. That's why they name their vehicles. I don't know if people name their homes, but it's amazing how many people come in and be like, please take a look at Edna or Dolores or I mean, you name your car. I mean, they do. And it's a depreciating asset. You know, with buying the right home and dealing with you, and you know that you don't have any surprises coming, it's an appreciating asset. So
yeah,
it seems like
absolutely.
I would name things that make me money and try to forget about the things that do not. It's kind of a novel concept we got going on here. So, you know, I've been on the Consumer Quarterback Show now for about 4 or 5 years, and I see a significant impact when I'm on the show. How has Brandon been for you? Do you see value in doing this? Would you recommend it to others?
Well, I've been here 10 years, so that should say something right there.
Wow. Yeah. I did not know that. So I kind of felt like I was a seasoned pro in the Consumer Quarterback. So you may be the original expert?
It's between me and Captain Will's the longest guys here.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So, you know, Captain Will Smith Aviation, good friend of the show, and was my pilot, is my pilot when I need him. Great human being right there. So why don't we go a little bit back to the home inspecting process. In order for you to need to hire additional people, how many home inspections can you get through in a week?
Well, there's so many different home inspections. We're doing insurance reports. We're doing full home inspections. It also depends on the size of the home. I mean, I just went out and did a wind mitigation on a 6,500 square foot new construction the other day, which the wind mitigation doesn't take too long. It takes a little longer on that size house, but not a whole lot longer than even a small house. But age, I mean, this year I've done quite a few homes older than 1950, several 20s, 30s, and 40s, and they definitely take longer than your average home inspection. But I could typically do your normal house 2 fulls a day. I don't do more than that with doing the reports, travel time, and the whole 9 yards.
Well, the reason I asked that question is I'm sure there's people listening having that blinding flash of the obvious moment going, I'm about to close, and I forgot my home inspection. So if they're within a couple weeks of closing, they can still reach out to you. You can fit them in.
They can, but most of your contracts have a limited inspection time period. Like you either have 5 to 10 days somewhere in there.
And when is that? When in the beginning of the due diligence
when you
phase?
sign the contract. So usually once the contract's accepted by the seller, I'm getting, the agent and the buyer contacting me and say, okay, what day can you be out there? We only have this many days, and we're getting it done.
Well, that's really important for listeners that may have missed their window. What can you do after the fact? Wait for that 11th month?
New construction, yeah. You could do the warranty inspection, and especially new construction, they want a 5-day notice on when we want to get in there and the whole 9 yards. They treat me like a subcontractor, so we send over our insurance and license and all that stuff so that they have that on file.
Man, well, time flies when you're having fun. I know I learned a lot. I'm sure our listeners learned a lot through this process. You do not know it all, breaking news, and wise men seek counsel. So if you are in the process of buying a home, go to a-snoop.com for a Snoop inspection. Jay Smith, you have been an amazing host. How would you like people to get guests? How would you like people to get a hold of you once again?
Main number is 813-345-2600. Again, that's 813-345-2600, or you can go through the website at a-snoop.com.
Fantastic. All right. Well, first half of the show flew by. This is always so much fun. Thank you for listening. We're going to take a small break, and we'll be back with Jason Avery and talking about home remodeling.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. We are back. Second half of a great episode. We got Jason Avery in studio. Brandon Rimes is off. He deserves a day off. I am Mike Murphy, owner of Murphy Auto Group and the all-new Genesis of Tampa. Genesis of Tampa is awfully excited for March, but not only March Madness, we're giving away $500,000 for Perfect Bracket, but we also have a triple-double sale. We're going to be tripling military rebates, college grad rebates. We're going to be doubling your tax return up to $2,500 if you use that as a down payment. So somebody asked me earlier, when's the best time to buy? The best time to buy is right now. With that said, we have Jason Avery, and we're going to be talking a little bit about home remodeling, how we see the market changing. But before that, we are still trying to help Brandon out, raise some money, pay those bills. So let's talk about a few real estate listings. All right, 12948 Twin Bridges Drive in Riverview, Florida. We've got a 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 3-car garage, over 3,200 square feet. This has got a laundry room, a mud room. It's got a bonus room that you could use for all types of activities. I think of Step Brothers, but maybe it's a home office, maybe it's bunk beds, maybe it's a playroom, who knows. Oversized pathers in the driveway. Driveway looks beautiful from the photos you can see. The kitchen features a large island, which is where most of my family spends their time. I'm not sure we've ever used our dining room. Also, some other great features to talk about is the dual vanities, a walk-in shower, private water closet, amazing master setup. This is in the Triple Creek community. Now, these amenities are like completely over the top, guys. You're talking about 3 community pools so you can hide from each other if need be, splash pads, 2 clubhouses for a statement I made earlier, 2 fitness centers, a playground, tennis, basketball courts, dog park, walking trails, all that with a low HOA, so no flood insurance required. Again, Riverview is a great area. It's growing. 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Check this listing out at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we've got another awesome listing for you guys. Please remember you can check all the listings out, not just this one, on Brandon's website. That's 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton, Florida. Okay, this one is also a gorgeous home. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, almost 2,000 square feet. It's an elevated stilt home, which for those of us who survived Milton and Helene and everything, we see new value in stilt homes. I think most of us would agree. Split bedroom layout, wraparound deck. Now the ground floor levels have parking garage for 3 different vehicles. It's got a covered tiki bar, spacious entertainment area. This private dock is a 12,000-pound boat lift. And a 1,000-pound jet ski lift, RV parking. It's all tucked away. This sounds like the perfect doomsday scenario location, right? Zombie apocalypse, bring the RV. Beautiful, beautiful home. Solar panels installed in 2023, so it's all under warranty to the end of this year. Joke, but all these upgrades include a 50-year seam metal roof. Again, hurricane shutters. Professional landscaping, custom lightings. This is a no-brainer. Check this listing out. Give Brandon a call at 727-263-3707. Or, again, go to his website, platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, one last plug. Brandon throws one heck of a happy hour. Been to a few, never hosted one. So here on March 19th at Kingmakers Tampa, at kingmakerstampa.com at 6 p.m., I got a fantastic event, not only for the expert contributors, Brandon and his team, but anybody listening within the sound of my voice, you are invited to check out Kingmakers. It's a members-only private club, but we're going to have food, drinks. We're going to give away free gas for a month, and all you have to do is be present to win. Check out Kingmakers, and look us up on Instagram at Kingmakers Tampa. So I've been asking everybody a question. I'm a serial entrepreneur, a lot like yourself. So talk to me about the time in your life, Jason, where you go, I think I can do this. I should work for myself. Because, 97% of Americans work for 3% of small business owners.
The real way back answer on that one is 12 years old. Dad would pay me $10 to mow the lawn, and I wanted more money. I wanted to take that girl out for a nice date. And so I went to the neighbor, said, I'll mow your lawn for $20. It only took one or two of those episodes of sweating out in the sun, and I did not like the physical labor element of it. I called my buddy Josh up and said, "Hey, Josh, I'll give you $15 to mow this lawn for me. Bring your own gas and mower." And while he sat there and sweated in the sun, I knocked on the neighbors' doors, and I went out there and found the next jobs to line up. So I guess you could say way back then. But
man, I love that story.
Officially, my first business was when I was 19, and I opened a telemarketing room. I had been doing telemarketing sales for an outfit for a bit. They flew me to Pittsburgh to get trained by lawyers on phone corporate compliance, and I came back confident that I don't need to work for somebody else. I can do this myself. And that was the first business. The FTC changed the rules of the game when it came to timeshares, and didn't make that business so desirable after about a year. But at 20 years old, I was buying my first house. I had a Jeep and a convertible Mustang. I had my first kid on the way. I was on top of the world, man.
Wow. Yeah, so many entrepreneur stories start like that, where there's this moment of clarity where there must be a better way. And, for me, I started washing cars at 14, but I was paid hourly. And at 16 years old, when I was allowed to drive the cars, I became a technician. And when I realized that I could work 8 hours and get paid for 12 hours and beat the clock because of my proficiency and expertise, it really made me wonder what else could I handle.
Some of those, those life lessons you carry with you. Let's take one back to Mom. Mom was a kindergarten school teacher most of my life. One that elevated herself all the way to the director of elementary education for Hillsborough County. But back in the teaching days when I was a kid, and Mom's given, that wholesome motherly advice, she said, whatever you decide to do in life, I'm going to support you. If you decide you want to be the janitor, just make sure you're the janitor that has the cleanest rooms in the whole town, And so, excel, outwork the people around you. Most career-oriented jobs I had in life, it was, get to the point where the boss takes a step back to get out of your way. The VP of the company says, I'll tell you what, I'll take over the marketing department, let this guy run sales and operations and, step forward. So
that is a tough transition. I went through it a couple years ago where I realized through my own hard work alone, I can't achieve my dreams anymore. And now it comes down to accountability, management, developing others, and shared vision and buy-in.
Well, time is the one thing that we're all going to run out of. And we don't even know how much time we have left. When I leave the studio, I could get hit by a bus out there, and there's the end of my time. So what did we do with it? If I can't purchase more time, then, you got to exponentially divide yourself up, and that is through sharing your wisdom, teaching others. I like a quote by Elon Musk where he says, train them so they can leave you and treat them so they won't.
Yeah.
So in my organization, there's nobody that punches a time clock. If you're a guy in the field and you're installing pieces, you're paid piece work. The more you put in the ground, the more you make. The guy that doesn't work as fast, I don't have to, whip him. And he's being paid, compensated fairly for what he accomplished. But those who want to excel can excel, and the sky's the limit. When you get the job done early, either take time off and enjoy your time with your family, or go take the next project and start taking over the world and empowering people to grow and find their own success within you, within your umbrella. That's the key. I have a book on Amazon and Kindle called Constructing Success, and I say in there, do the task 80% as good as I would personally do the task. That is good enough to turn them loose. The outsider looking in doesn't know that I'm 20% better than them, but now I've got 100% of my time available.
That's
and
right.
I can use a little bit of that time to make them 20% better, to prep them for it, to check their work afterwards, to teach, train, to polish. So it's empowering people to grow, giving them no ceiling. You can make as much as you want based on what you contribute and bring, and the more of the next generation that you're training along the way, the more you're positioning to be the leader of that group of people. It's the pyramid rising up, And so going beyond that, I used to tell people, if they could do what you do, why would they work for you? Why wouldn't they just go do it on their own? But I believe I've actually broken down that wall also. I have 4 different people throughout my organizations that, because I have 5 different companies myself, sure. And if I want somebody else that has my ability, how can I limit them to just me? So I actually have 4 different people that have other businesses of their own, and their businesses are integrated or intertwined in what I do.
Yeah,
and
shared vision and
because
shared
what
benefit.
I bring to the table might be the cash cow for them. I get the priority, I get the attention, but I also give them the affordability to go hire staff to help accommodate the next batch of other clients that they can
Truly kind of
serve.
paying it forward.
And then I feed into that business, and I'm the best testimonial, and they're doing my work all the time to say why other companies want to work with them as well, and helping them build that downline to service that client, learning how to work on the business instead of in the business.
It's fair to say you've created kind of win-win-win. It's a win for you, win for your strategic partners, and win for the consumer.
I like to tell people that I build winning teams for a living. And
Love that.
part of my relationship building strategy with my referral partners is to go to every golf tournament I can, every fishing tournament, clay shooting tournament. And I'm bringing people that I want to motivate. I'm inviting people that should really meet each other that maybe haven't yet, and it's going to be a beneficial relationship for them both. But in that process of all this fun and motivation, it's just taking it to the next level and getting it there quicker. So yeah, it's treat people right, build them up, and help them find their own success. That's where I'm going in life as a whole. Tony Robbins has done a great job at motivating masses, and I want to pick up where he leaves off. I'm building my own success stories right now. If I go to that golf tournament, I'm going to tell everybody I'm going to be the worst player on my team for sure. I am bringing ringers with me, and we're going to take home a trophy. And when people look at me slanted, like I've golfed with you before, you 30 handicap guy, and then I can just simply say I build winning teams for a living. That's what I do. Bring the talent. And empower the talent, inspire, motivate.
You talked about something that's near and dear to my heart. I also wrote a book, probably for a different reason, but talk about that process if you don't mind for a second, because I talk to a lot of people. I'm a little social butterfly, like a good Irishman. I've never met a stranger, and everybody says, "Oh, I want to write a book someday." When you go from "I want to" "I have"? What was that inspiration like?
That actually comes back to this show. And
Really?
When I first joined with Brandon as a contributor more than a decade ago, we would have, like his happy hour now, we would have social events, and he would bring in a guest speaker from time to time. And one of his former contributors, a guest speaker, was Eli Gonzalez. Eli is a ghostwriter. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to go write your book for you.
Sure.
But Eli stood up in front of the room and said, if you want to be the expert of your industry, write the book on it.
Yep.
And that made perfect sense. I contracted Eli. We did 16 weeks worth of lunches and an hour and a half each time. We just went through one chapter at a time, and I spilled my guts, and he would type as fast as he could. When I would run out of things to say, he'd ask me brilliant questions and stimulate my thoughts, and then ask me, well, give me a real world application of this. Did it ever not work? Did anybody else try it? How did they, happen in it? He'll take my content, go back and find some supporting information from other people's books that we can cite that agrees with my conversation. We polish it, say, I love this part needs to be reworded. Let's save this for chapter 6, and now on to the next. So after 16 weeks of content generation, then I turned to a speaker, author, coach. I wanted him to read my content and see if I created a call to action. And was it clear? What was it? What if somebody wants more? Then I worked with a marketing company that helped me design the forward and back cover, and then also the interior formatting, all the, the fonting, the line spacing, the page numbering, getting some graphics and pictures in there to break up the context a little. Then I worked with an Amazon marketing rep. How do you get it listed and promoted out there? We drove it to number 1. So I made an investment into my book, my first one. I am working on the second one now, and it'll be way more cost effective doing much of it myself. But just getting the first one out there for the investment I made, I haven't maybe directly gotten back all the money for it in $20 book sales after a speaking engagement, but indirectly, I can't even count how much money it's made me, because when I meet an architect, a designer, another GC, somebody that I could have a good relationship with, we can feed each other, I give them a copy of my book, and I separate myself from every other contractor they ever met.
Yeah, I have a similar model. Every time you buy a car from Murphy Auto Group, you get a copy of Dennisisms. That's excellent. So we're about to take a quick commercial break, but I just want to ask you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? Because you've got Avery Home Remodeling, you've got your coaching, you've got the book. How should all our listeners get a hold of you?
So if you have a castle on the water on the golf course that's a little out of date and you need a remodel, that would be averyconstruction.com. If you are a contractor and you need a good resource for custom cabinetry built from scratch, any style or color, any size, any trims or accessories, reach out to Designer Cabinets LLC. realtystore.com. And if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you need a little advice, help, growth of the business, maybe you're good at the trade, but you don't really know what to do next. And I help young GCs all the time to start creating what I've created, and that it's construct-success.com.
All right, well, that's Mike Murphy here with Jason Avery. It sounds like you're not only for profit, brother, but you're for purpose. So more with Jason right after the break.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. Please make sure to send him all of your real estate deals and subscribe to the Consumer Quarterback Show podcast on iTunes and Spotify, or check out our YouTube channel. Have a blessed day.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Tired of long lines at the airport? Check out Tampa Bay's premier private jet source. I'm Brandon Rimes for Will Smith Aviation. Aircraft management, acquisition, and sales, luxury jet escapes, and packages. Check them out online. WillSmithAviation.com. That's WillSmithAviation.com. Or call the show. I'll put you right in touch directly with Captain Will Smith. AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for Jason Coble, owner of Coble Law. Coble Law has been handling injury cases in Tampa for the past 14 years and has a specialized approach focused on limiting client cost and maximizing client profit. TampaWorkCompLaw.com, TampaWorkCompLaw.com. Jason Coble, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, Personal Injury Law, and Work Comp Law. Hey, Brandon Rimes here for our friends at TargetSurveying.net for all of your surveying needs. Land surveying firm providing services for real estate since 1992, and they are statewide. Check them out online, TargetSurveying.net. That's TargetSurveying.net. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rimes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing? We would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Brandon is still off. I am Mike Murphy. And great news, I have not got him canceled, so we got that going for us. I am the owner and founder of Murphy Auto Group and the owner of the all-new Genesis of Tampa. If you're even remotely interested in a new luxury vehicle and you do not drive a Genesis, well, then you're just paying a stupidity tax. These vehicles are first class with a 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty, and test me on this. Stop by the all-new Genesis of Tampa. With that said, now that I'm done paying my bills, let's pay some of Brandon's. We've got here, and the very first one is also in the Tampa Bay area. Here it is going fast at 14135 Cypress Circle, Tampa, Florida. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, a little over 1,300 square feet. It's a villa-style condo at the Cypress Clusters at Carrollwood Village. Pretty good golf course over there. Covered front porch, which is fantastic for the summer, probably even better for the winter. This gourmet kitchen is awfully beautiful with white shaker-style cabinets, stainless steel appliances, everything you need for a perfect lifestyle here in Florida. The breakfast bar has plenty of room, spacious living room that gathers a whole bunch of natural light together. And, take these sliders off the living room, lead into a beautiful patio. This is one of those that you look at and you say, why not me? Why not now? This is perfect. Check this listing and all of Brandon's listings out at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we saved the best for last, I think. 9914 Ala Vista Drive in Gibsonton, Florida. 3-bedroom, 3-bath. We loved it so much we ran it back. Just kidding. Again, that one
was
was
the one
here.
with the awesome view on the channelway, though.
Yeah,
Right? We didn't mention that earlier.
Yeah,
if
that's
you
a
are
zombie
not watching
apocalypse
this
house.
on the podcast, you should. If you're just hearing it on the radio, go look at what these look like, because that last one was the view is straight down the channelway, water access on like an L shape.
Yeah,
you're not
solar
looking at
panel
somebody's
roofs.
back, window. That was a really cool view.
I like buying a car. I like to look at total cost of home ownership too, and I think that one's got a lot of bang for the buck. Not much different than this one here, 9078 at Birmingham Ave, Weeki Wachee, Florida. We got 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1-car garage, over 2,400 square feet on almost a 2-acre lot. This move-in ready property was built in 2004. Since then they've upgraded the kitchen, has new stainless steel appliances, premium cabinets, ample counter space. The primary suite is spacious and has features of a log-in, walk-in closet. It's still funny they call them primary suites. I almost said master suite. Apparently that's a no-no. The bathroom has also been remodeled. Like I said, it's on a 1.8-acre lot with an electric gate. Very, very private, which is what we're looking for nowadays. Find peace and quiet at this beautiful new home. It is easy access off of US 19. If you haven't been to Weeki Wachee, you're missing out. The Mermaid Show itself is worth going to check it out.
Yeah, the carport, if you're not seeing the pictures on that one you can park an RV under, man. It's a big open lot and easy, spacious to drive into. So, yeah, if somebody's got an RV, need a place to store it off the side of the house, that's perfect.
Yeah, and what's nice about doing this with you is I can kind of ask the questions that run through the back of my head when I'm reading all these benefits. It seems like everybody upgrades the kitchen first. Why is that?
Well, because it's the first thing you look at when you walk in the house. It's the kitchen and the bathrooms. That's what sell the house. I tell people all the time, like, if you're thinking about doing a remodel because you're getting ready to sell, that's the worst time to do it, because it's not going to be a money-making proposition necessarily. It might be a time proposition. People want the house that's move-in ready. They don't want to live through construction. But usually, if you're trying to figure out look up the property appraiser, figure out, from the real estate, separate what's the structure and what's the land. Because sometimes the land might be $1 million with a $200,000 structure on it.
First one I bought was like that.
But whatever the structure is, 25% of the structure, that should be the appropriate value to put into a kitchen remodel.
Yeah.
If you put less, you're probably not doing enough. And if you put more, you're embellishing. It'll take you longer to get your return on investment, So, if it's a master bathroom, that's about 20% of the value. If it's a hallway bathroom, it's about 15% of the value. That's kind of a good target window.
That'd be a great
to
social media post to kind of explain if you're going to have a limited budget upgrade, where should you?
The biggest thing to be aware of these waterfront properties is now you got FEMA, and with FEMA in a flood zone, you're limited on how much improvement you can do. It's not to exceed 50% of the value of the structure itself. So
not
that
the
$1 million
whole
property
home, just
and a
the structure.
$200,000 home, and you can only do $100,000 to it,
That's
unless
really
you knock it down and build up.
We just got a couple minutes left, and before I went to break I said, man, you sound like you're not only for profit, but you're for purpose. And a great example was the party you had, was it last Saturday?
Yeah, last Saturday. It's an annual event. We've been doing it for 19 years. It started off, it was just a joint birthday party. My ex-brother-in-law and myself, 30 people with a do-it-yourself karaoke machine and a little toaster oven station with English muffin pizzas. And we next year had 60 people, then 90, then it was going to be 120. Well, my wife said, we got to do something for a good cause. She put out donation boxes. The next year, I said, let me get some of my business buddies to sponsor, and we'll throw their money at the charity. And we kept growing it up. And, boy, the year that COVID hit the country, we had 350 people at our property about 10 days before we shut everything down. That was kind of scary. But either way, we just kind of shifted gears at that point. The party expense had gone wild. And so now sponsors helped me create the event. And then the party goers each buy a ticket, 100% donated to charity, silent auctions. Every year a different theme for 19 years. And we've raised a lot of money for a lot of organizations. We're about $90,000 now in the years combined that we did. This year we raised another $9,250 for Jericho Roads Ministries. And then in addition to that, two of our previous beneficiaries came back. We supported Masked Miracles, which is the Batman of Spring Hill, with a $500 donation so that Batman would appear for the kids at the Epic Carnival. Right. And then we supported Victor Newman Ministries, which is a food bank over in Largo that we're passionate about these causes. But yeah, hey, get out there and do nice stuff for people, give back, and karma's alive and well.
Agreed. It's one of the things all major religions agree on.
Giver's game.
Yeah, about 5 seconds. Where should people get a hold of you?
It's averyconstruction.com. You can start from there and just search my name, Jason Avery. You'll find me.
Or at Avery Remodel on Instagram. Great stuff. All righty, thank you for the show, Brandon. I'll be back tomorrow, so take an extra day off. This is Mike Murphy signing off.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.